This story is about a mother and daughter from Trinidad. Jones, the mother, and Padavattons, the daughter. Padavattons had been married and divorced. She had a child called Tommy. Padavattons had a great job in Washington as a secretary with a satisfied salary and pension right. One day, Padavattons received a call from Jones, her mother in Trinidad.
Hello, my girl. How are you there in Washington?
Hello, Mom. It's great. How about you?
I'm great too, but I miss you so much, my dear. I miss you and Tommy so much. Come, my dear. Here is a suggestion for you. You can further study in England and become a qualified barrister. Then come back to Trinidad to practice lawyer and stay with me. I'm old in later years, my dear. I want to stay with you and Tommy in the rest of my life.
No, Mom. I'm not interested in studying. I don't want to further my study. I love my job now, and Tommy has his friends here. He enjoys his school life, and I think I will be very stressful if I go for further study.
What do you say?
Mom, I just say.
Okay, stop. Listen to me. If you further study for bar to England, I will pay you $200 per month. Sound interesting now?
Just joking. I think I can try for it. Don't forget about your promise, yeah, my lovely mom.
Sure, my dear. You can get what I promised once you complete your study and come back here.
Soon, Padavattons gave up her job in Washington and went to England to study for bar. Tommy went with her. As promised, Jones paid $200 to Padavattons every month. However, Padavattons thought that $200 promised by her mother is equal to 70 United States dollars. On the other hand, for Jones, $200 of West Indian dollar is equal to 42 euro. Luckily, Padavattons accepts the money. It seems that she had accepted the offer. 2 years later, Padavattons felt extremely stressful and uncomfortable in England. She called her mother, Jones, again.
Mom, I feel so stressful and uncomfortable here. I have failed one of my papers, and I can't afford the housing rental here.
Okay, don't cry, my dear. Please don't cry. Mom has an idea. Let me buy a house there so that you and Tommy can live there. And you may rent out the remaining room. And the rental fees you receive could be the house maintenance as well as your living expenses to replace the $200 I promised you before. Is it okay for you to continue study in England, my dear?
Thanks, Mom. I agree with it. Your promise encouraged me a lot. 2 years later.
Hey, Padavattons, why am I did not receive any rental fees and could not get into the house I bought in England? That is my property, you know?
Well. That is my house as long as I am still studying the bar. Don't you remember your promise? The house is mine during my study, right?
Just give it back to me. That is my property.
No way. That is mine.
So, Padavattons brought this to the court and sought for possession of the house.
The daughter, Padavattons, argued that the agreement between her and her mother is legally binding and had intention to create legal relation because she had provided consideration for her mother's promise by studying for the bar.
On the other hand, the mother argued that it was just a merely informal family agreement and had no intention to create legal relation, so she entitled to possess the house. All agreements between Jones and Padavattons are made on oral based. Lack of legal contract is the biggest problem of this case.
At the end, the court applied the principle in Bedford v. Bedford to the agreement between mother and daughter. There is a presumption that no intention to create legally binding contract and relations capable of the enforcement of the court. It is also presumed that family agreements are based on mutual trust, family ties, and affection. Besides, the content of the agreement was too legal and unable to become a strong evidence as the exit of intention to create intention. Therefore, the court held that Jones, the mother, awarded for the possession of the house. Also, the Court of Appeal stated that the agreement should be last until the daughter had passed her bar finals. Yet 1 year had elapsed and she had still not passed them. Hence, the contract had elapsed.
In case of Jones v. Padavattons, it shows an importance of determining whether the initial presumption is for or against there being a legal relationship. When the initial presumption of both parties is to create legal relations, their mind will be obvious to enter a serious contract and understand the contents of the contract due to their intention to agree each other and execute their obligations. If there exists a presumption in favor of intention to create legal relationship in the initial of the story, the result of possession owner between Jones and Padavattons would be reversed.
However, the fact that it was a domestic agreement with both parties actually families, the presumption was against there exist legal relation between both parties. The agreement is not legally bound.
Second, the case serves to illustrate the importance of questioning whether or not. If the agreement is broken, the innocent party will go to the court to enforce the issue of such case should not be concluded as whether there is an intention to create legal relations. In many minor commercial agreements, when breaching of contract, usually the parties feel that it is not worth to involve the courts to remedy a breach. However, such agreements are clearly intended by parties to affect their legal relations. Furthermore, even in large commercial transactions, it is not normal that the parties prefer to settle conflicts themselves by not involving lawyers. But this does not mean that the parties are not intended to legally binding their agreements.
Just in case of Jones and Padavattons, the fact that the parties would not be accept to secure each other may be explained as this mutually trust is due to the relationship of the parties, which is mother and daughter. But even then, it cannot be conclusive as whether there being legal relations.
Just a reminder, in order to ensure the initial presumption of both parties is for creating legal relations and bound into the contract, no matter its commercial or domestic agreement, make your agreements in written form with the advertising of lawyers is one of the best ways to secure yourself.